specialize in topics of study or in particular needs?
Much. I really appreciated the Plus 50 program. It was the catalyst for me to get out of the state of confusion that I was in about, all right, I've taken the retirement program, now what? And it was the vehicle for me to step back, sort things out, and find a direction. Took a retirement program and was just trying to figure out what I was going to do next. I just wanted to do something different. I had a successful career, and I just wasn't sure. I felt like I had a new chapter to start, a clean piece of paper in front of me, and I just wasn't sure what to put down on it, how I was going to get it started. And so I got this mailing from the community college. The semester or half-year program announcements came out, and there was kind of an ad in there for Plus 50 learning, and I forget exactly what the words were, but re-engineering yourself, intended for people who were 50 or older, who were trying to restart careers, or people like myself who had retired and were just trying to figure out what to do next. Reinvention either was one of the words that was in the write-up, or what. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to reinvent myself. I knew who I had been. I knew obviously what I had been doing for a number of years, and I just wanted some help in a safe space to try to take a step back and blue sky a little bit within myself, within a class, about what else might there be, what else might I be able to do. And I found it, I actually tried to do it while still employed, but it's very difficult to think of anything other than the job when you're employed, or at least it was for me. I mean, it was a full-time job. It took all my concentration, and to try to turn it off and step back, I just wasn't able to do it. And that's what the Plus 50 class program provided me. One of the things that happened in the Plus 50 program is there were a variety of exercises in covering different aspects of skills and abilities and interests and want-tos of whatever kind. And one of the things that we worked on was, I call it a skills assessment. I'm not sure if that's what it was called in the class, but what do you feel like you're good at? Where do you think your strengths are? And we did that inventory, and I had done similar kinds of things in the past. I had a feel for it, and I looked at that list and I said, those are my strengths, but that's not what I want to continue to do. I just knew that that's not what I wanted. I wanted to try to do something different. I wanted that new chapter, not just an extension of what I had been doing. And one of the other things that there was another portion of the coursework that got into what would you like to do, or I forget exactly how it was framed, but what came up for me was creativity. And the more I thought about it, the more I looked at it, the more I looked at other items on my list, that became the number one thing for me, was creativity. I wanted to work in a creative. And, I don't know why the drawing environment is what popped up exactly, but that's what popped up. I mean, somewhere along the way, I knew that what I wanted to do was take drawing classes without knowing what the outcome would be, but I just wanted to get started in trying to create pictures of my own design. Confused and hopeful. I'd say I was confused about what I was going to do next. Knew that it was time for me to end the career that I had been on for a number of years, and I was fortunate that very fortunate that I could do that. But as I said, I just wasn't sure what I was going to do next, and I really didn't want to continue to do the same kind of work for somebody else that I had been doing, and so I was very hopeful that this program would allow me to find some clarity in my mind about what other areas I might be able to develop and how I might be able to re-engineer a new career for myself. This program has expanded my mind a great deal. One of the most interesting things that I've learned in the drawing classes that I've taken, most valuable things to me in a way, is how to see differently, how to see the subject, how to see details that I hadn't seen before, and to understand light and dark, and it's like a whole nother aspect of seeing the world that I live in that I hadn't thought about. The instructors I've had in the fine arts programs have all been excellent, very focused on trying to help students improve their skills, understand what needs to be done, and how to see the subject matter so that you can get it down on paper. I started as a very basic, very green student, and the first class dealt with perspective, and it was very difficult for me. I was really struggling and came close to throwing the towel in, but the instructor did a very good job of keeping me calm, telling me to just take it easy. My skills would improve, and she gave me some personal time and helped me improve my skills. Well, coming back to school wasn't so much of a problem. I'm used to school. There's been lots of training programs that I've participated in over a number of years, so I didn't find the setting to be foreign, but the subject matter was completely different. My career was mostly on analytical kinds of things, and the drawing, learning to draw, learning to do perspective, which was the first class that I took, was a real stretch for me. It just was very foreign and intimidating, and frequently left me uncomfortable, and I didn't like anything that I was doing when I first started, but I was in a group of people who were mostly just like I was. People that were interested in learning to draw, who didn't come into the class with masters in fine arts, or anything that would be, a real leg up on a beginner. They were mostly people like myself, same age group, variety of different reasons for taking the class, but starting pretty much with the same, at the start of the process. It's starting at the beginning. And a teacher who was very capable of teaching a group like that, knew how to get people started. I don't know. I just didn't give up. I just kept going. And it's pretty much, who I am with just about anything, is to just keep going. And the instructor, I thought, was valuable, very helpful. I mean, her direction was, don't look at your stuff and quit. Look at your stuff, hold on to it. By the end of the class, you'll be able to compare what you just complete with where you were when you start, and you're going to see some improvement. And she was right. I saw some improvement, not a whole lot, but some. and certainly enough to make me want to take another class because I enjoyed it. What I'm working towards, my goal is to show my art to somebody who is not family, who looks at it and says, wow, that's really great. How much is that? And I've had some, I've had family ask me how much, and I've had strangers say, wow, that's great, but not how much. So I got to get those two things together. The great thing about community college, continuing education, is it's just that, it's continuing education. It's lifelong learning. The number of classes that are offered through the continuing education program here at the community college is really extensive. I'm very impressed with the number of people that are willing to come in and teach and talk to students who share an interest in a subject. And I just think it's important for everybody to, when they get to retirement age, to continue to develop new areas within themselves, to stay fresh, to learn new things.